Most dog owners believe their furry companion adores them unconditionally, but the reality might surprise you. While dogs are naturally social creatures who form strong bonds with humans, there are subtle behavioral cues that reveal when that bond isn't as strong as you think. These signs often go unnoticed because we interpret normal dog behavior through our own emotional lens. In this video, we'll explore 14 specific behaviors that indicate your dog might not feel the deep connection you assume exists between the two of you. 1. Not making eye contact with you. Picture this. You're sitting on the couch trying to have what you think is a sweet bonding moment with your dog, but every time you look at them, they turn their head away. You might brush it off as shyness, but this consistent avoidance of eye contact reveals something much more concerning about your relationship. Eye contact forms the foundation of human-dog communication. When dogs willingly meet your gaze, they're showing trust and establishing a meaningful connection. Dogs who avoid your eyes are communicating discomfort and a lack of trust in you as their companion. This isn't the same as a quick glance away during training or when they're focused on something else. We're talking about deliberate, consistent avoidance of your gaze even during calm, quiet moments. Animal behaviorists believe that a dog's ability to look into a human's eyes in a non-aggressive way was one of the first steps toward canine domestication. Dogs learned that humans respond positively to eye contact, which helps build relationships. When this evolutionary behavior is absent, it signals a serious breakdown in your bond. You'll notice this most when calling your dog's name during feeding time or when trying to give commands. Instead of looking at you, they'll focus on walls, the floor, or anything else available. This consistent eye avoidance means your dog sees you as unpredictable or threatening rather than as their trusted companion. 2. They don't wag their tail when they see you. There's nothing quite as crushing as walking through your front door after a long day expecting to see that familiar tail wagging with excitement, only to find your dog's tail hanging completely still. Meanwhile, when your partner or roommate enters the same room, that tail springs to life with enthusiastic movement. This stark difference in response reveals more about your relationship than you might want to acknowledge. Tail wagging serves as one of a dog's primary communication tools, and they use different positions and movements to express specific emotions. A fast, broad wag where the dog's entire body moves signals genuine happiness and excitement. A slow, hesitant wag often indicates uncertainty or insecurity about a situation. But when there's no movement at all, your dog is expressing neutral or negative feelings toward your presence. The key distinction lies between a relaxed, neutral tail and a tense, motionless one. A relaxed tail simply hangs naturally, while a tense tail appears rigid and controlled. Dogs naturally reserve their enthusiastic tail wags for people they genuinely want to see and interact with. They make conscious choices about who deserves their excited greetings. When your dog consistently greets you with a still tail, you're witnessing one of the clearest signs that your relationship lacks the emotional warmth and connection you believed existed. 3. They don't seem to want to sleep in your room. Nothing feels quite as lonely as realizing your dog consistently chooses to sleep anywhere in the house except near you, even when your bedroom door remains open and welcoming. You might find them curled up in the hallway, kitchen, or spare room while you sleep alone, wondering why they actively avoid the space you occupy. Sleeping location choices reveal deep insights into a dog's sense of security and pack hierarchy within your household. Dogs naturally want to sleep close to their trusted family members for protection and companionship, just as their wild ancestors slept together in packs for safety and warmth. When dogs feel secure with their owners, they seek out nearby sleeping spots to maintain that protective bond. Dogs who avoid sleeping near their owners express a lack of confidence in that person's ability to provide safety and security. This behavior differs significantly from a dog who occasionally sleeps elsewhere due to temperature preferences or comfort. We're talking about consistent, deliberate avoidance of your sleeping area night after night. This pattern suggests your dog may choose locations where they feel more secure, such as under furniture or in different rooms entirely. Sleep avoidance often indicates your dog doesn't view you as a reliable pack leader or trusted family member capable of providing the protection they instinctively seek during vulnerable sleeping hours. 4. They don't want to cuddle after they eat. You finish filling your dog's bowl and watch as they eagerly devour their meal, but the moment they're done eating, they walk away from you without a second glance. No gentle nuzzling, no settling down beside you for a post-meal snuggle. Instead, they find a spot across the room or disappear entirely, leaving you wondering why mealtime always ends with such distance. Post-meal behavior reveals whether your dog sees you as family or merely as a food dispenser. Dogs are pack animals that naturally crave companionship, and those who trust and love their owners seek comfort and closeness after satisfying their basic needs. This isn't just about being full and content. It's about choosing who they want to share their vulnerable moments with. After eating, dogs experience a period of vulnerability where they feel more relaxed but also more exposed. During this time, they make deliberate choices about where to go and who to be near based on their comfort level with family members. Dogs who view their owners as true companions naturally seek physical closeness after meals as a bonding ritual that strengthens their relationship. When your dog consistently avoids you after eating, it suggests they see your relationship as purely transactional rather than emotionally meaningful. You provide food, they eat it, and that's where the interaction ends. 5. They wag their tail to the left when you are around. You notice something odd about your dog's tail movements when you're around, but you can't quite put your finger on what feels different. The tail is wagging, so that should be good news, right? Actually, the direction of that wag tells a completely different story about how your dog really feels about you. The science behind directional tail wagging reveals fascinating insights into canine emotions. When dogs wag their tails to the left, it indicates negative feelings, fear, or stress. This leftward movement connects directly to brain lateralization in dogs, where the right hemisphere processes negative emotions and gets activated during stressful situations. Right hemisphere activation correlates with cautious or fearful responses in dogs. When your dog's tail moves predominantly to the left side of their body, their brain is processing your presence as something that requires caution rather than celebration. This asymmetrical tail wagging represents an unconscious response that dogs cannot control or fake, making it one of the most honest indicators of their true emotional state. To recognize left-sided tail wagging, watch your dog's tail movement from behind them. Notice which direction the tail tip moves most frequently during the wagging motion. Left-sided tail wagging around you indicates your dog experiences stress or uncertainty in your presence, even when they appear calm and composed on the surface. 6. They disappear whenever you are around. You walk into the living room and your dog gets up and leaves. You enter the kitchen and they head to another room. This pattern repeats throughout the day until you realize your dog seems to vanish whenever you appear, consistently avoiding any shared spaces with you. Dogs use space and distance as primary communication tools to express their comfort levels and social preferences. When they feel uncomfortable around someone, they choose to disengage rather than create conflict. This spatial management allows them to control their environment without resorting to more direct confrontational behaviors. There's a significant difference between a dog who occasionally needs alone time and one who actively avoids a specific person. Normal alone time involves random retreats to quiet spaces, while targeted avoidance means consistently leaving whenever you appear, regardless of what they were doing. Dogs naturally gravitate toward family members they trust, while creating deliberate distance from those who make them uncomfortable. As dog behaviorist Robert Cabral explains, dogs will more often disengage than opt for destructive behavior. This represents their preferred method of managing uncomfortable situations. The avoidance pattern often escalates when dogs feel unable to communicate their discomfort through other means. Consistent spatial avoidance serves as your dog's polite but clear message that they don't enjoy your company or feel safe around you. 7. They ignore your commands. You call your dog's name across the room and get nothing, not even a glance in your direction. But when your spouse calls that same dog using the exact same tone, they come running immediately. This frustrating pattern reveals more about your relationship than you might realize. Command response connects directly to respect, trust, and the strength of your human-dog bond. Dogs naturally want to please and cooperate with humans they view as trusted leaders. When they consistently ignore your commands while responding to others, they're making a clear statement about how they perceive your authority and reliability. This behavior goes beyond simple distraction. A distracted dog might take a moment to focus before responding, but they eventually acknowledge your command. Selective hearing represents a deliberate choice based on your dog's assessment of whether you're worth listening to. Dogs evaluate each family member's trustworthiness and leadership qualities, then adjust their responsiveness accordingly. The difference becomes obvious when you watch your dog's ears perk up at other people's voices while yours gets completely ignored. This selective response pattern reflects their perception of your place in the household hierarchy. Consistent command ignoring indicates your dog doesn't view you as someone worth listening to or respecting, which can stem from inconsistent training methods or negative experiences. 8. They prefer spending time with someone else. You come home from work expecting an excited greeting, but your dog barely lifts their head before trotting over to your partner for enthusiastic pets and attention. This heartbreaking scene plays out daily as you watch your dog shower affection on everyone except you. Dogs make deliberate choices about their preferred companions based on emotional connections and past experiences. They distribute their attention strategically, investing more energy in relationships that provide them with positive interactions, comfort, and security. These preferences reveal the quality of bonds they've formed with different family members. Dogs show favoritism through obvious behaviors that become painfully clear over time. They approach certain people for pets while avoiding others, follow specific family members from room to room, and choose particular laps for cuddling sessions. You'll notice who gets the excited greetings at the door, who receives the gentle head nudges for attention, and who becomes the target of their playful energy. Dogs gravitate toward individuals who are associated with fun playtime, consistent treats, or calm energy that makes them feel secure. Some people naturally appeal to canines through their tone of voice, body language, or interaction style. When your dog consistently prefers spending time with someone else, it indicates they find more comfort, security, or enjoyment in those relationships than they do with you. 9. They avoid playing with you. You grab your dog's favorite squeaky toy and wave it enthusiastically, expecting them to bounce with excitement and engage in a fun game. Instead, they glance at the toy briefly before walking away, showing zero interest in playing with you. Yet when your family member picks up that same toy, your dog transforms into a playful, energetic companion ready for action. Play serves as a crucial element in a dog's life, functioning as a means of social bonding and emotional expression. Dogs choose their play partners based on trust and enjoyment, often reserving these interactions for those they feel closest to. This preference highlights the importance of play in canine social dynamics and the emotional connection between dogs and their trusted humans. Dogs engage in various types of play, from fetch and tug-of-war to physical interactions like wrestling and chasing. The willingness to participate in these activities clearly indicates their comfort level and affection. Play avoidance reflects a dog's assessment of a person's energy, predictability, and overall fun factor. Signs of play avoidance include ignoring toys you offer or walking away when you try to initiate games. This behavior suggests your dog doesn't associate you with positive experiences or doesn't feel comfortable being vulnerable around you during play activities. Oh, and before we go to the next point, I have something cool for you. If you head over to happydogsplace.com/gift, you can download a free guide packed with tips to make your dog's life even happier. It's full of fun ideas, helpful strategies, and all the basics every pup needs to thrive. You can find that link in the description. 10. They don't relax when you're around. You walk into the room and immediately notice your dog's body becomes stiff and alert. Their ears perk up, their muscles tense, and they maintain a watchful posture that never seems to fade, even during quiet moments when nothing exciting is happening. This constant state of vigilance creates an uncomfortable atmosphere that you might not even realize you're causing. Relaxation serves as a fundamental sign of trust and security in dogs. When dogs feel completely safe with their owners, they allow themselves to become vulnerable by lying down with soft, loose body language. Dogs who can't let their guard down around you are communicating that something about your presence makes them feel unsafe or uncertain. Physical signs of tension include stiff body posture, raised hackles along their back, and a tucked tail. You might also notice their ears held low against their head, nervous behaviors like lip licking when they're not thirsty, or yawning when they're clearly not tired. These actions mirror human nervous habits and indicate chronic discomfort in your presence. Dogs need to feel completely secure before they show vulnerability through relaxation. A dog who is simply alert responds to specific stimuli, while one who remains chronically tense around you never fully settles. This inability to relax suggests your dog views you as unpredictable or potentially threatening to their well-being. 11. They refuse your treats. You pull out your dog's favorite treats, expecting their usual excited response, but instead they turn their head away and refuse to take what you're offering. This becomes even more confusing when you watch them eagerly accept the same treats from other family members just minutes later. Treat acceptance goes far beyond hunger and reflects a dog's comfort level with the person offering the food. Dogs use their response to treats as a form of communication, revealing their true feelings about specific individuals. When dogs sense something is off about a person, they may refuse treats even when they would normally accept them eagerly from others. The psychology behind food acceptance shows how dogs evaluate their relationships through these interactions. If a dog refuses your treats, they are showing they need some time and space from you specifically. This behavior communicates that they don't feel comfortable in your presence at that moment. The difference between a dog who is simply full and one who specifically avoids your treats becomes obvious when they immediately accept food from someone else. Treat refusal often indicates your dog is either fearful of you or doesn't view you as someone they want to interact with positively, making this rejection about the relationship rather than the food itself. 12. They don't like being touched. You reach out to pet your dog and watch them pull away from your touch, yet moments later they eagerly lean into your family member's gentle strokes. This rejection stings deeply because physical affection represents one of the most basic ways we connect with our pets. Touch sensitivity reveals deep insights into a dog's comfort level and trust in specific individuals. Dogs communicate their boundaries through body language, and touch avoidance serves as a clear signal of discomfort or lack of perceived safety during interactions. When dogs feel secure with someone, they naturally seek out physical contact and enjoy being petted. The difference between a dog who dislikes touch in general and one who specifically avoids contact with certain people becomes obvious through their selective responses. A touch-sensitive dog will avoid physical contact from everyone, while a dog with relationship issues will welcome touches from some people while rejecting others. Dogs show touch avoidance through various behaviors, from subtle leaning away or slight body stiffening to more obvious movements like physically distancing themselves or moving completely out of reach. These actions demonstrate their need for space and control over their environment. Consistent touch avoidance indicates your dog doesn't feel safe or comfortable with your physical presence and may view your touch as stressful rather than comforting. 13. They growl at you. Hearing your own dog growl at you creates an alarming and deeply hurtful experience that signals something is seriously wrong with your relationship. This low, guttural sound represents one of the most direct forms of canine communication, indicating that your dog feels threatened enough to issue a clear warning. Growling serves as a dog's way of communicating serious discomfort and setting firm boundaries when they feel unable to escape a situation. This vocalization functions as their final warning before potentially escalating to more aggressive behaviors. Dogs use growling to express their need for space and to signal that whatever is happening needs to stop immediately. The escalation that leads to growling often begins with subtle body language cues that humans frequently miss or ignore. Dogs typically start with stiff postures, avoiding eye contact, or moving away from perceived threats. When these initial warnings go unheeded, they resort to growling as a more forceful expression of their distress. Genuine warning growls differ significantly from playful vocalizations during games. Warning growls are low-pitched and accompanied by tense body language, bared teeth, fixed stares, and raised hackles. Growling at you represents your dog's clear message that they view you as a threat and are prepared to defend themselves if necessary. 14. They don't bring you a present. You never experience those sweet moments when your dog trots over with their favorite squeaky toy, proudly dropping it at your feet as a gift. While other family members receive these endearing offerings regularly, you're left wondering why your dog never chooses to share their prized possessions with you. Gift-giving behavior in dogs represents trust, affection, and a desire to share valuable resources with their most beloved humans. This act of sharing signifies a high level of trust because the dog willingly relinquishes a valued possession, knowing you will either share it or return it. Dogs make deliberate choices about who deserves their treasures based on the strength of their emotional connection. The psychology behind resource sharing shows how dogs decide who is worthy of their most cherished items. They evaluate relationships carefully before offering their valued possessions, choosing only those they trust completely and feel closest to emotionally. Canine gift-giving takes various forms, from favorite toys and bones to random household items they find meaningful, such as socks, shoes, or sticks from the yard. These offerings represent their attempt to include you in their world and share what matters most to them. The absence of gift-giving behavior indicates your dog doesn't view you as someone special enough to share their valued possessions with. How to rebuild trust with your dog. The good news is that damaged relationships with dogs can often be repaired with patience and the right approach. Most dogs want to love and trust their humans, and these behaviors usually reflect fixable relationship issues rather than permanent rejection. Rebuilding trust starts with respecting your dog's boundaries and current comfort level. Pay attention to their body language, such as avoiding eye contact, hiding, or stiffening when you approach. Give them space and avoid actions that cause fear or anxiety. This creates a safer environment where healing can begin. Use specific techniques to slowly rebuild your connection through positive association training. Drop treats when you walk by your dog without demanding interaction. Use rewards-based training methods that help your dog associate your presence with good things happening. These low-pressure interactions gradually increase their comfort level. Consistency in your behavior is crucial for restoring confidence. Maintain consistent routines for feeding, walks, and play sessions so your dog can anticipate events and feel secure. Make sure all family members use the same commands and hand signals. Realistic timelines vary depending on your dog's history and the severity of trust issues. Progress may be slow, but celebrate small victories like your dog staying in the same room or accepting treats from you. Successful trust rebuilding requires genuine change in your approach and commitment to seeing situations from your dog's perspective. The role of consistency and routine in earning trust. Predictable, consistent behavior has a powerful impact on a dog's ability to feel secure and develop trust with their owners. Dogs rely heavily on routine and consistency to understand their world and predict what humans will do next. This predictability serves as a cornerstone of their sense of well-being, allowing them to navigate their environment with confidence while reducing fear and stress responses. You can establish trustworthy patterns through specific daily interactions with your dog. Maintain consistent feeding schedules, walk times, and play sessions that provide a framework of expectations your dog can rely on. Make sure all family members use the same commands and hand signals to reinforce this predictability. These consistent cues help your dog understand what you expect from them. Inconsistent behavior creates significant anxiety and uncertainty that prevents dogs from forming secure attachments. When routines become unpredictable, dogs struggle to anticipate what happens next, leading to heightened stress levels and diminished feelings of safety. Erratic feeding times, inconsistent training methods, or sudden environmental changes can erode trust quickly. The long-term benefits of maintaining consistent routines contribute substantially to the overall health of the relationship. Predictability fosters security, which promotes relaxed and confident behavior in dogs. This increased comfort leads to greater willingness to engage in positive interactions. Consistency often represents the missing ingredient in troubled human-dog relationships and forms the foundation for lasting trust. Well, now that you know the 14 signs that your dog doesn't love you, I recommend watching the next video on screen. In it, I explain ways to make your dog happier. Tap the image to open the video